The Ryback Show starts now. Welcome to The Ryback Show. Thursday Live. I am the Big Guy Ryback. Thank you for joining me. Instagram, TikTok, the Big Guy Ryback 22 over there. We are streaming live as well. Guys, Ryback TV on YouTube for the live video. Twitch at Ryback Rules. And I believe we are on Periscope as well at Ryback over at Twitter over there. Good to see all of you guys. Fantastic day. Hope everyone, as the tweet said earlier, a thunderous Thursday. Gives myself something creative to try to figure out words that start with the same letters as the day of the week. Just got done having a performance meal, around 8 grams of protein and very low carbs, a couple servings of corn, some mushrooms, kale. What else did we have in there? Some orange peppers, some chia seeds, some turmeric, cayenne pepper, little iodized salt on that, and feeling freaking jacked. Massive leg workout. Good little just elliptical session after the legs. Really hard leg session today, and feeling good. And we got the Las Vegas Golden Knights playing at 6 o'clock, so I'm going to throw that game on and enjoy a little bit of that. So. But here we are, today's show, and I thank you all for joining me. What's going on? Do we have any news? Is there any news going on today? What's going on, guys? We're here: health, fitness, supplementation, nutrition, mindset, pro wrestling questions. If there's a specific thing you want to talk about, that is what we are here for. And as always, today's episode is presented by Feed Me More Nutrition, available on feedmemore.com. Yeah, I do pro wrestling about my theme music going back. We actually got I actually really enjoy the song that we use on this. I think I'm gonna want to keep the sirens how I have it. I like the sirens kicking off the Feed Me More. It gives it a more dangerous feel that I think that I really dig. I wouldn't mind Jim Johnstone doing a new one that is, because don't get me wrong, I love the WWE version. They did a tremendous job at that, and there's just something about that I think theme music is so important, and I know from years of hearing the reactions to when the music hit. And then having to go out to other people's music at times and not feeling it and not hearing the same, it's so important. So I think that energy definitely needs to be captured. It's one of my things we'll talk about a little today that I think AEW could do even better. And I don't know if it's somebody mentioned, because here's my thing, and I love AEW. I think WWE's production on capturing the energy from face shots and the character of the wrestler and the theme music. I think theme music is, if not the most important things, one of the most important things on capturing energy and telling the audience who somebody is. And what I mean by this is when I'm watching AEW, and on certain people, it's not all the time, but the majority of the wrestlers, the music is almost like in the backdrop, and the announcers are the main thing I'm hearing. And the music, I don't feel it. I can hear it kind of, but I don't feel it. And I think that's very important. And if I was there, that'd be one thing. I'd be in the meeting. We need to be able to have the music be felt for every single wrestler to the best of our ability. And because I think it could be, that's how you get the connections. And I think that's missing with some people. I don't think it's missing with Jericho's, but I think that even it can make it even. But I think his music just comes off clear to me for whatever reason. But maybe even not. Maybe it could be even better with it. But I know in Cody's music is fantastic as far as you know it's him, and you could feel that, and the entrance and all that is spectacular. But on a lot of the other guys, the music's not as prominent that I've noticed. And that's one thing that I would really, really, I as just watching, as somebody just watching and knowing, wanting to go back. That's something that I'll be very, vocal on with wherever I go, is the music has to match what, like, that has to be felt. And I'll know. And I'll go back and watch on TV. I can tell right away, music has to be crystal clear and not just heard, but felt. Ryback psychology. Yeah, you are going to get blocked. Ultimate Farmer Brock Lesnar. I don't know why that pops me. The Ultimate Farmer Brock Lesnar. So you're suggesting during SummerSlam, I buy a ticket, sit there and watch the show, hopefully get a few Feed Me More chants, but I won't encourage them. I won't encourage them. And at the right time, you're saying, take my clothes off and streak naked into the ring, causing just utter chaos. Do you think I try to fight the WWE security naked? They're pretty badass. I'll take them all on, though, no doubt. I have no fear. And being naked, nobody wants to wrestle with a naked man. So strip naked, streak SummerSlam, get a Feed Me More chant going naked in Allegiant Stadium here in Vegas. Maybe pop a few Cialis before I go out there, right? Show everybody the big guy's back and harder than ever. Is that what you're suggesting? Because it sounds just completely ridiculous. Good to see you guys. We got the badges on Instagram. We got those gold coins going over on TikTok. And over on Ryback TV, we have the super chats. Yeah, no face bumps for sure. Take a hell of a face bump. What is my favorite food from Chipotle? Right now, well, because I love chips and salsa. Like, if I could just eat, if I didn't care about anything and just wanted, I was like, I got a year left to live. Even then, I'd still go work out because I enjoy it so much, but I would eat more chips and salsa. I would get drunk and eat chips and salsa at random Mexican restaurants on dates. If I had a year left, and I would go on a different date every day of the week. Chips and salsa and tequila. And still work out, though, and that still work out to the day that I go. But to answer your question, the sofritas burritos with the wheat tortilla, brown rice, pinto beans, the fajita vegetables, throw some guacamole on that bad boy. The sofrita vegan meat deal. They have the sofritas. Sofrito or sofritas? I can't remember. And then I do a little bit of the hot and medium sauce. And that's it. And corn, a little corn. Big guy's a big fan of corn. Love corn. Jozo, that makes me very, very happy to hear. You guys, if you come from another channel and I don't understand that. Like, I don't hate anyone, guys. I just don't like people that spam. I think that just screams complete loser. And, be better. At the end of the day, nothing's going to bother me. You're just going to get blocked. That was a good question. Oh, Jozo says, thank you, buddy. Let me, Ryback, I'm sad I said something bad, but I'm glad you stream. It really helps me survive. You're the best. You're the GOAT, PG legend. Thank you, Jozo. And it's okay. You make mistakes. You own up to them. It's okay to be wrong. You go on. It doesn't mean you're wrong on everything. Oftentimes people have a fear of admitting they're wrong because they think that then people think they're wrong on everything. You can be wrong on something and be right on a lot of other things. And oftentimes there are going to come times in our lives, especially the more involved with things that we are, where we are wrong or what is perceived to be wrong by the masses or by some, and it's up to us to make a decision to go, am I wrong? And if we're not, don't ever give in. If you're not, never. I'm a big believer in that. You go, I apologize to absolutely nobody. But if you have you self-reflect and you believe that you were in the wrong, own up to it, admit it. And, next day you're going to wake up. Nothing's ever as bad as it is in the actual moment. And the further you get away from that, you may even see things differently. And, but I'm glad you're able to tune in and get a little bit of inspiration from the big guy. Yes, this show is on all podcast platforms, guys. And eventually, I've talked about it, we're going to be going to Station Head. If you download the Station Head app and add @Ryback, we're going to be streaming there. That's where we're going to have the callers live on there. And that's another platform where they're going to actually be promoting me a lot heavier through their network. It's a radio app, and they got a lot of people over there now. It's going to be very beneficial for me, for the show, and for everyone. And I think it's going to be a great way to talk and communicate with you guys, because this is what this is for. At the end of the day, and I know people want to hear the opinions on stuff on pro wrestling, and I'm absolutely cool giving it. I just want a balance of health and fitness, supplementation, nutrition, mindset, genuine things that people need help on. I think I could help get people going on some things. Like right here, Banjo Man wants no smoke from the big guy. I forgot about Banjo Man. Banjo Man didn't want any piece of the big guy. What's your advice? Sly Kai 04 says, what's your advice for starting a workout? I'm starting to get in shape and I want to start a routine. Simply, we live in the day and age, and this isn't, you type in Google starting workout routines. You're going to get a whole list of things. And again, if you don't know where to start, you just pick something and you start going. The key in all of this is just starting something and then never quitting and just building and adding on to it. Now, you do want to work out right, and you want to make sure and I don't know how old you are, that you have proper knowledge of the stuff you're doing. So I'll say this, you start slow and start very basic. And then you get comfortable with certain movements, right? And then you graduate to more. So that's what I told somebody. So like Pinterest is a great site. We have my Feed Me More Nutrition, Ryback's Feed Me More Nutrition over there. But what you do is I tell people, if you're completely clueless on working out and don't know where to start. See, I've been through this when I was younger and had no internet yet. I just started figuring things out. And I remember I'd found a book and some things. I was like, okay. So it's like, you want to start doing arms. So you learn 2 or 3 bicep exercises and 2 or 3 tricep exercises, and you get good at those. And then you go, well, what can I do for chest? Well, you can do push-ups. So let's start doing push-ups. Let's start building on push-ups. And then it kind of just starts snowballing. But in this day and age, we have all the information in the world, and you don't have to go overly crazy. I think a good starting routine for people if you're just getting into weight training, I think 6 to 9 sets per body part to begin with per week for each body part is a very good starting point that will get you very good results. Stick in the 10 to 12 rep range. I think that's a very safe rep range. I think you can even go 12 to 15. 10 to 12 just seems to kind of be in that happy spot, though, that I've seen from a lot of people and that I personally gravitate towards, even though I'll do my 4 to 6, and every once in a while I'll even do, some 2 to 3 rep sets for really, really going for strength on certain things that I can do. But 10 to 12 tends to be the bread and butter that I notice is best for actually building muscle and muscle stimulation and not causing tremendous pain on the joints and tendons and things like that. But I would try to learn 2 or 3 exercises per body part and then start building from there and just get good at that. And that's what we would do at anything. You want to start playing the guitar. You want to get good at the guitar. You got to go buy a guitar. So you got to go get a gym membership, or you got to find body weight exercises for at home. You can get all that on Pinterest or Google with that. But if you want to start playing guitar, you got to pick the thing up and you got to start somewhere, right? And then you start learning, you learn a tune or two. I have no idea about the guitar, by the way, so probably the worst thing I could have. Just pick up the damn guitar, take classes, get a trainer, things of that nature. Moving on. Good question. Why did I call my finisher the shell shock? Two reasons. One, I was a huge fan of the Ninja Turtles growing up, and shell shock was a term from that. But the actual meaning of shell shock is in war, in battle. It's battle fatigue. It's when your enemy is literally just too tired to go on, defeated, and that's where the name shell shock. That was why it was the perfect name for me for that finisher, and that I will continue to do. I love that move. Super chat. Dorian Perez, thank you very much. How can I get well-marked abs? Shout me out, champ. So I'm a big believer. I love the P90X Ab Ripper X routines. You can get those online. There's Ab Ripper X 1 and 2 are the two that I mainly do. 3 is I can take a couple exercises from it. 3 does some weird stuff, but I know there's a few things in there because my shoulder, I don't do as much. But I love Ab Ripper X 1 and 2. Also, there's a great app out there called Athlean, Athlean X, Athlean X. And you don't even have to pay for it if you don't want. But if you pay the $1.99 for it, you get all the exercises in there. And they have more than, I think, just ab stuff. I think they got a ton of stuff. But their ab workouts are killer on that. But I'm a big believer in doing body weight exercises once a week and weighted abs once a week for the most part. But you're going to have to get your body fat levels down. At the end of the day, your abs should be able to be seen if your body fat levels are low enough on that. Now, there are some people that just have better natural ab development than others, and it is genetic, the shape and structure of your actual abs. But it's all a matter of getting your body fat levels down low enough to see them. But just strengthening them will actually help them pop out better. Whereas, like, even if my body fat's not as low as I want it, my abs will always pop out because I've got large ab muscles from always training them. West Coast UTD, thank you for the super chat. I broke my leg 7 months ago, but still I can't feel my power. Any advice what to do in the gym? Thank you, legend. Thank you very much, West Coast. Yeah, breaking your leg is a pretty traumatic situation. I don't know exactly what you did, but oftentimes, and I know this from injuries I've had, one of the most difficult things is overcoming it from a mental standpoint, because there does come a point, and don't get me wrong, there are cases where physically people aren't the same after injuries, no doubt, right? I know for my ankle injury, and it structurally is just something. It's not till that nerve connects to that big toe. It's just not the same. But I've learned to adapt and worked around it. But oftentimes, and I know from having like little pulls here and there, I remember I pulled my hamstring before, and it wasn't like I got lucky. It wasn't anything, but it took like, I think at the 2-week mark, I felt good again, but it took another 2 weeks of training and getting myself mentally to trust it, if that makes sense. And then week 4 or 5, I was back and not worrying about it. And I've learned that you got to, like, for certain things, you got to give yourself time to overcome the mental aspect of being hurt. And am I going to get hurt again? It's a very tough thing for a lot of people, where you got to eventually just realize like I got to do this. But the key is doing it in small increments, baby steps. You're not going to go, like, say you were squatting 300 pounds before, and you're not even squatting. Well, the key, you got to start, maybe you go back down to 135, and then you go to 145, 155, 165, very small jumps, and just every week try to get better and better. In time, you will get back to that point or surpass it if you do it right, because your confidence will build in those baby steps. Oftentimes, though, people try to do too big of it. Oh, I want to go back and do what I used to be able to do. And then the mental hurdle's too much and you don't feel right because you got to get yourself acclimated again to the weight. So that would be my suggestion is give yourself time, man. But push yourself in baby steps. Baby steps. And I'm a big believer in that. And I really, because you got to get the confidence back. Because I can tell by that, if it's not back yet, you don't got the confidence back unless it truly is something structural, which if it is, then you just got to work around it and do the best that you can. Don't try to be what you were before, right? Like there's times, and and just to give you an example, when my back was with all this and with the needing the 5-disc fusion and getting all these stem cells, I had to quit doing squats for years. There was, I think, a 2-year stretch of no squats because I was doing them when I wasn't supposed to. My doctor went off on me, and he literally goes, do you want to fucking get better? And he goes, do you want to squat in your fucking garage? And and he wasn't being confrontational. He's like, he goes, do you want to go back? And he goes, you just got to stop. And it just hit me. I go, you're right. And I started just doing more leg extensions, body weight squats. I wasn't who I was before, but I was killing my workout still. And I got that mental release that I needed. And I just did the best that I could. And I didn't feel bad about myself because I stayed active. I just altered the things I had to do. Does that make sense? And I stopped comparing myself. I'm like, well, yeah, okay, cool. That guy's squatting 800. I can't do that right now. Why? Maybe I could go try, but I can't do that. Why? And so, but baby steps. Baby steps. What about Bob? One of my favorite movies, one of the greatest messages, and one of the biggest things that has helped me have success in life is the baby set mindset. Guys, listen, I'm not going to show up at Summerslam. I would have zero desire going and sitting in a crowd and for attention on that, because it's not paying off for anything on that. So I'm not going there, but oh my God, if people cheer for me, Vince is going to hear that. That's not going to fix it. I don't care, so it's not, that would not be anything that I would even remotely consider. I would go sell supplements though, go make a killing on Feed Me More Nutrition and get escorted out of the parking lot. Yeah, I did give my back time to heal. I think DDP yoga is fantastic. I think that there's and a lot of those movements on certain things are very, very beneficial, and for people to move and to be active. And I think it's helped a lot of people. I'm a big believer, though, too, in creating stability through weight training and core strength. With that, I know there's some people, I think that program is so good, though, for people that aren't training and just need somewhere to start. And I think it's good to incorporate some of that stuff into the routine. But for my shoulder, and I told Paige this, and I've talked to him. I remember at a show, this was when I was at my worst. We were at an independent show, and the yoga was killing my back. It was the worst thing for me that I could have been doing. It was causing so much more instability. Inversion tables, same thing. Same thing with my shoulder. My shoulder was destroyed. I needed the stem cells to repair a lot of different things going on and get that inside the joint where there was no more cartilage. I had all the atrophy and all this scar tissue was forming where I was in pain just moving. That wasn't helping. And I just said, I go, it's not helping me. I go, I have legit issues that I do not believe, because I've been doing it for long enough trying, is going to help me right now. That's not to say that I think now incorporating a little bit of it would be cool, but I already do some of that active motion warm-ups. I take what I need for me on that. but I'm not like with how busy I am. I'm not going to also do an hour of something on that. Like it doesn't translate to my life with what I'm doing. I'm big on core strength and I think that program definitely offers it in a lot of different ways. I like doing different things like Zercher squats for my core strength and my bridges, which he does that stuff in there. But I just take the pieces for me that help me be better. But I think the program's fantastic. He's done absolutely amazing things. He's a true testament to hard work and a positive mindset. And we share a lot of the same beliefs mindset wise. What was that on the let me get that question. Love from Gabe says, I love the testosterone booster, big guy. He's referring to the big guy testosterone booster by Feed Me More Nutrition. That Buteus superba gets me ready to go working on baby number 2. It's no joke. That testosterone booster trumps everything else. There's no other formula that even comes close. I was told I should have that over $100, by the way, when I came out with it, with everything. And I go, nope. $49.99 is the best deal on that thing that you're ever going to find. Go look too, like with that new Genix Total T. You want to talk about ripping people off. They're great at marketing. They got Frank Thomas. They got prime television commercials. That formula, though, isn't going to raise your testosterone levels. I know by looking at the ingredients. That formula is dirt cheap as well. And what they charge like $80 a bottle. And I just go, this is what gives stuff a bad name. But they're great at marketing, and they have the money to market it at such a high level. But people will buy that, and they'll be like, oh, testosterone boosters don't work. I'm like, no, that one doesn't work. And all the ones you can get on Amazon for 15, 20, 30 bucks, those don't work either. And I'm telling you this because I know. Go get ours. We have a money back policy. And I tell people, go get blood work. Your total and free testosterone are going to be elevated on it. I've seen it from enough people and with my own multiple times to know. So, but that Buteus superba is a natural Viagra Cialis in it that they will be happy. I love swimming. I just swam the other day, actually. I did my laps out there in the pool. I think swimming is great for loosening up the body. I like it for my shoulder and my legs. When I'm done swimming, I'll blow myself up out there doing my laps in the morning, but my body's just nice and limber, like everything, because it especially with my shoulder, it activates a lot of the little stabilizing muscles and things, and just stretches everything out in a nice way. Take a look here, see what other good questions we have, guys. I'm sorry to hear about Delicious staying a meat eater. Hopefully, if he's afraid to face his parents, that fear's never going to go away. Yeah, Kidlow, if you're 18, man, going on 19, no, you don't need the testosterone booster yet. The only way, if you went to the doctor and for whatever reason, there are people that do, you'd have to get your total testosterone, free testosterone, and estrogen, which also too, they would probably want to check your luteinizing hormone and follicle stimulating hormone to see that production on that. If you happen to have low testosterone at that age, it would most likely be primary hypogonadism, which you would be probably be beneficial to go on TRT, testosterone replacement therapy through a doctor. Not common that is all that common for kids that age to need it, but it does happen on that. But I would say at this, the HES booster is not unsafe in any way. It's natural ingredient. It's like a multivitamin for your testosterone levels, but your testosterone levels should be, you don't want to even do right now, you're in the prime of your life, and you're going to have all the way up through 24, 25, 26, but guys, there are guys now are having lower and lower testosterone levels at younger and younger ages. I just saw from the people that I can't remember I had on the podcast, there's studies now though, kids, teenagers have full-blown erectile dysfunction, like at levels they've never seen before. I think that really, and I talk to the people that think porn, and not necessarily just regular like porn, but when people are, I guess the tube sites is from what I remember they were talking about, when people are watching, go from like one thing and they have like 10 screens and their brain is just getting overly stimulated. I didn't even know that was like a thing that people do, but it makes sense that so young kids are getting at the phones and they're just going crazy with all this stuff. But I also think the diet and what's in the factory farming is causing massive hormone problems in people. And I think that is connected into it as well. Hello. Thank you guys all for joining me. Yeah, let's see hey, Chris, good to see you, bud. Ryback, I tried that Nugenix and it gave me insomnia for some reason. I think I'm going to switch over to your product and the weight loss supplement. Man, I think you're gonna notice a definite difference in the two. The Big Guy and Shell Shock Extreme Fat Burner Stack works extremely well together. And I would be curious after give it 2-3 weeks. I think you're going to be very, very happy on that. The libido boost you're going to get from the Big Guy as well is like having that horny goatweed in there and the Butea superba. That alone makes it a really, really cool supplement. But everything else that we have in there, it's just look at the label, look at the label of Nugenix Total T, and you're going to just see the actual value that you're getting, and you're just going to go like, oh. So, but I'll be curious, man. I want to hear how you're doing on it, because I've seen too many emails and messages from people that love it, and you can't always guarantee everything for everybody. But I think you're going to be happy, man. I appreciate you checking out the supplements. Thank you. Let's see. What is good for building muscle? Well, protein is the building block of muscle, amino acids. You want to, I would say, the ISO-hungry plant-powered protein and the 10-count creatine is a very good muscle-building stack. And if you're in your 20s, mid-20s, and you want to throw the Big Guy testosterone booster in with that, I think that is a hell of a muscle-building stack that guys will be happy with on that. And supplements, guys, this is the thing. I'm not just in the supplement business. I'm in the self-empowerment business. And I learned that very early on. And because this is why it was a process of getting to where everything is now. And I feel like not a lot of people go this deep into it or care this much, but I have always invested in myself very heavily. And that's why I push out the content that I do, because I know nutrition, supplementation, exercising, these things have given me success in so many areas of life. And on top of it, it just makes you feel good. And the better we look and the better we feel, the better our lives are going to be. At the end of the day, people give you more respect. When you're out of shape and things aren't going, people look at you different. And you can say, well, I don't care. But you will care once you feel good. You're going to be like, man, people, it's just, there's so many things that we could improve upon it. And for me, that's why I push all this. But it's not the supplements alone. It's everything. It's a mindset. It's that positive, hungry mindset, that growth mindset with that, and investing in ourselves. And it's not like, hey, guys, let's look for a quick fix and not better our lives in any other way. I'm like, no, don't buy the supplements, son. I want you to go all in if you do this stuff, because I want you to be better and I want you to be happy. The last thing I want is someone, like I said, that buys my fat burner and buys one bottle, and they go, oh, I'm going to drink more on this. I'm going to eat more junk food on this. And then they don't get any results, even though they maybe don't gain as much weight as they would have on it. But this doesn't work. No, you don't work. And that's just the honest, hard, cold truth of the situation. Investing in supplements is a waste of money if you don't invest in your body and your mind as well, in my opinion. You got to go all in. You got to go all in. Our the Shell Shock Extreme Fat Burner and is our best seller, and then right there with it is the Big Guy Testosterone Booster and the Wake Up Unlimited Energy pre-workout. And again, it just depends on what you're looking for. I think everyone is, and the supplements are all for men and women outside of the Big Guy Testosterone Booster, which is designed solely for men. But I think with the weight loss is the one thing that was why that is always, people are always interested in that, and the product works, which we're getting ready. The production of the new batch is coming in very soon, and we're going to be working with a company whose goal is, and it's their job that I brought them on, is to get the Shell Shock Extreme Fat Burner to the #1 position on Amazon, because there's no reason why it shouldn't be. It just hasn't been done properly. So they specialize in this. And then once they do that, then I'm going to have them do it with my testosterone booster. Then I'm going to have them do it with my pre-workouts. And the Big Guy is going to be off to the races. But, and I've learned, because I was doing so much, and I looked, I go, how can I make this better? And I go, there's no reason this product should not be #1. It works. It works a lot better. There's no company. I give you $130 of ingredients in the Fat Burner. If you buy them individually on Amazon, you're spending around $130. No other company is giving the value on that. But that's my thing. Like, I want people to, I don't care. Of course, I want to make money. I have so many goals and things, but I actually want people to be happy, because this is an extension of me and what has worked for me. Like, I'm not trying to rip people off. The last thing I want to do is sell people shit supplements and have my reputation and things with, oh, that stuff's absolute shit. And it hasn't been the case. You would have seen it with people. Now it's not. I actually genuinely care, because it's my life. So I put a lot into this. If you're a kid, I say just be active, man. Find the sport that you want to do, not what your parents want you to do. Your mom wants you to play the violin, and you don't want to play the violin. Say, no, I don't want to play the violin, but have an alternative of what you want to do. Be nice, have conversation, and express yourself, communicate, and say, I think I'd like to go play baseball, Mom. I really, really like it. I have my friends play, and I think it's something I'd really enjoy. And just be active with things that you enjoy. That's the key to life, is finding, because there's a million things we could do. The key is finding the things we like the most and doing it and enjoying it. And if we do that, we will live happy, successful lives. I firmly believe that. Yeah, the thoughts on people that say natural foods are better with supplements. I don't think that's entirely incorrect. You see, now I don't think I don't think the argument is, and it's never been the case for me. I don't think you should ever replace natural foods with supplements. The whole deal with supplements, they supplement your diet. They strengthen your diet. Do you understand what I'm saying? So my opinion is, we always want our diet to get as much micronutrients and antioxidants as humanly possible. I'm a big believer in that. I'm also a big believer in adding things like a whole food multivitamin into our day, because for the majority of people, that with work, and I'm lucky I have everything structured, and I've been with my life and my success, where I can make these very nice meals and have groceries delivered every week to my house, and not like, I'm very blessed in that way through my hard work and being able to do this now. Not everyone can do that. And I understand people eat out more, but we got to be very conscious of trying to eat as much micronutrients as possible. And I think supplementing, with a whole food multivitamin in different things I think supplementing with an immune system booster is absolutely crucial, especially in the times that we live in. Now, that's why I have that our kick out immune system support. I have that as a $19.99 add-on. It's $29.99. I give it to you guys as if you buy something where we slash the price, because I want people to take that during all this, because it works. I haven't been sick in over 8.5 years. It truly works, but that's also through working out and proper nutrition as well. I think they go hand in hand with it. I don't ever think you should say, now I'm not going to say, oh, Ted, go ahead and eat as much junk food as you want because you're taking a multivitamin. No, eat as much healthy food as you can and also take this multivitamin, especially if you work out and you train and you sweat and you push yourself. It really is beneficial. And a whole food multivitamin is coming from whole food. That is a difference too. In the supplements we use natural ingredients on this. There's a difference in supplements as well, and what supplements, what companies we're talking about, right? There's a lot of things that factor in. But supplements to me have always been a way of supplementing and strengthening our nutrition and our diet. If your friends are being mean to you because you're vegan, I think it's time you find new friends. You'll be much happier finding vegan friends. And I would dare say they're probably much better human beings. Panama, hello. I'm drinking coffee right here, my last coffee for the day. And I just had a performance meal. I'm drinking a Virgil's Zero Sugar Root Beer, sweetened with stevia. It's my favorite root beer. Zevia has a ginger root beer and a creamy root beer. The creamy root beer is very close to this, but the Virgil's it's just a little smoother. It doesn't have any aftertaste. This tastes like a good old-fashioned root beer. If I had some good vanilla plant-based ice cream and to pour this over, hot summer day here in Vegas, oh, the big guy would be happy. Root beer float for the big guy. And I'm thirsty too right now. I didn't bring a water. Usually I bring the water in with me. Good to see all of you guys. Hello, hello, hello. Yeah, I always wanted the custom license plates. I've got Rye Rules and Big Guy 1. I saw Hulk Hogan when I was younger, had the Corvette with Hulkster 1 on it, and me and Ziggler always laughed about it. So once I made it in WWE, I did the custom license plates. And I'll tell you what, because I got 2% Jew in me. If it would have been a lot of money, I don't think I would have done it. But the lady, I'm at the desk at the DMV. I'll never forget when I first got my truck and I got the Rye Rules plates on it, and for Ryback Rules. And it was more not to be ego or anything of that nature. It was just my childhood. That was something I thought was really cool as a kid. And I thought it was cool that as an adult that I was able to do it and kind of make that like kind of a little dream come true. Very simple, but very cool. From remembering Hulk Hogan having that. But the lady, it was like really cheap. It was like 40 or 50 bucks or 30 something bucks at the time. And I go, that's it? She goes, yeah, you sure you don't want to get it? And I go, nobody has that, right? She goes, nope, that license is available. I go, okay, I'll take it. Guys, we got a super chat or fidget stuff for $1.99. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for the super chats, guys. Good to see all of you. Have I ever used Diana Ball? I used D-Ball one time when I was very young. After I just got signed, I was 23. I was at Deep South Wrestling. We hadn't even started yet. And I blew up to 300 pounds, and I was always heavy. But it took very little of this. And I remember the story because I got to Deep South Wrestling And there was a guy there by the name of Palmer Cannon who also got there a little after me before Deep South was even built. I just moved out there because WWE started paying me, and I just moved out there. And I hung out in McDonough, Georgia for a few months before we even got started. And it was cool for me being a kid kind of moving away from home for the first time. But I was doing a little bit of that. And I'll never forget, because I've always been extremely strong. Within weeks of taking a small amount of that, I was curling. We were in Gold's Gym, McDonough. I didn't know any of the other wrestlers who was there. So this one guy was there, and he knew that I was on Tough Enough, but we hadn't met each other yet. And he was in there working out. And the story goes, because I think he told Fandango, Johnny Curtis, later, that his first impression of meeting me was, holy shit, I was curling 120-pound dumbbells, 23-year-old. I mean, like, easy curling 120-pound dumbbells, not like cheating, like easily curling them. I've always been very, very strong, but that stuff makes me, it was insane. But I'm so glad I never did that stuff long enough, because I would have got hurt, because I think I would have been so damn strong past my tendon strength that it would have just like not been good. So that stuff is so bad for you, so bad on so many levels. And I remember just looking back, and I was so against that stuff for the longest time. And then I told the story about overhearing Triple H talking about what he was taking when he was working out at Gold's Gym. And when I was younger, I really, really liked him. And that in my head made that okay for me to try it, because I wanted to be a wrestler. And I let an insecure adolescent mindset and others' insecurities of what they do become mine. And I learned that, and after WWE introduced the wellness program, which I'm very thankful they did that. I thought, and that was it. And I went on TRT at 28, and I've been on it ever since. So outside, and I stopped for a couple of years. My test levels never able to come back fully. And and then it's just one of those things. And I just stay in the medium, normal, upper, medium, high, normal levels. I apologize for the people, guys, that will eventually go away with those. But yes, guys, I'm doing my shoulder stuff now. The goal is to be able to go back to wrestling. Buddy, any issues with the supplements, please contact the support on there. That's what I pay them for, and they handle everything. And then I oversee everything if there's ever any issues. Trying to see here. Do you think the Mediterranean diet is good? Been on it a year. I don't see changes. Well, I mean, hey boy, if you're not seeing changes, I don't know how many calories you're consuming. You could say you're doing the Mediterranean diet, but are you consuming high protein? Are you trying to build muscle? Are you weight training? Are you counting your calories? There's a lot of variables in this. Just because you're doing a Mediterranean diet, you got to still be specific. If you're just, there's a shirt that the vague goals get vague results. If you don't know really what you're doing or what you want, and you're not really, just kind of going along, waking up, eating what you've kind of eaten, what have you changed in that year? Have you increased your calories? Have you decreased your calories? Have you increased your physical activity? Have you said, look, man, my body's not changing. I need to start training even harder. Self-accountability the diet is not the problem. You're the problem. You're not working hard enough. And that's the cold, hard truth. And I'm not saying that to be mean, but that's the difference between winners and people that don't win. The majority of people don't win, guys, because they lack that winner's hungry mindset. Self-accountability. Even if it's not our fault, it's our fault. I did that and everything I got going on with WWE. At the end of the day, and I've said this many times before, and I will tell the truth on everything that's happened. And as a physical actor, I've never failed. I've played every role to my best of my ability and succeeded in it. And I believe it's impossible to fail as a physical actor in that if you hit the role exactly as is asked of you with that and whatnot. But even with that whole scenario, I go, it's my fault I chose to go work there. Even though there's all this stuff, my fault. And that's why I'm working on solutions. I'll acknowledge the things that happened and say, and there's a lot of negative things and bad as well as good. But I was like, okay, my fault, everything, my fault. I'll fix it. They're not going to help me. I can't, they haven't paid $1 for anything. I fixed myself with all this help and been blessed with a positive mindset, self-accountability. I got myself in that situation. Regardless of things that happen, I'll get myself out of it. That's my mindset, and it works. It might take some time, but it works. So the problem isn't the Mediterranean diet. The problem is you're not doing it good enough. And I mean that nicely, man. This isn't like attacking. This is what you need to hear. I'm looking here. I think more of the world, and again, when I put out vegan stuff, guys, here's another thing. We need more people going vegan even quicker. And I put out content to motivate people to want to change their lives for the better. There's a lot of BS going on in the world, a lot of bad right now. We are destroying the planet. And I don't believe anymore that it's a personal choice on what we eat. I think that choice is going to start being taken away from people at some point. I think factory farms have to go away. Have to go away. I think if people want meat eventually, I think animals are obviously always going to be here. I think it's always going to be an option. I believe lab-grown organic meat is going to be the alternative for people in the future. And I think, man, we have the ability to be so much better than we are. Man, we are fucking scumbags. The system is broken. And if you can't sit back and go, it's my choice, it tastes good. Fuck you. And I mean, it was fuck me, fuck you, fuck all of us, because we're all going to be fucked. And you think if you want kids and the shit we're dealing with in our lifetime, and not that far away, guys, 2040, 2050 is that, and I guarantee it's going to be quicker than that with how fast we're greatly increasing in population. We have to make massive changes. So we need more people going plant-based and vegan than ever before. We were never supposed to eat the amount of meat and the stuff. We were never, do you think the factory farming fish and the chickens and the pigs and the cattle, man, it was not meant to be this way. And that's why it's not working. And that's why we have all these problems. So I think the majority, yes, and I think more and more people as they see are going to go vegan. Why wouldn't you? The food is awesome. You literally are healthier, better performance, better build muscle better, increase your metabolism, lose weight, and oh, by the way, more compassionate to animals. I think if everybody had to sit and watch what was actually going on, a lot more people would stop even quicker. But it's going to take time. But that's why the vegans are so urgent with this stuff, is because they see that's what's actually going on. Whereas I ignored it forever because I didn't even it doesn't affect me. I've been there and it was fuck me. Stupid, man. That's why I have no problem telling anybody, I think you're fucking stupid if you don't look into it. And I wish I had parents that were smart enough when I was younger to have that be a thing. But it is what it is. But if I'm doing and succeeding at it, and I ate more meat than anybody, man, I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it. Yeah, the raising meat, again, though, it's still killing. And at the end of the day, let me ask you, see, there's a difference in this stuff too. And plus two, from a health standpoint, we have all the foods and protein we ever could need where we don't have to. But let's look at it this way. say you have a farm and you have land and you have your hens, you have your chickens, you have your cattle, and you eat the eggs that they lay occasionally. You have a primarily plant-based diet, but you have some eggs. They live a great life. They're not tortured, right? They're cared for. They're loved with that, right? And then, the cattle, they're not tortured. They live their full lives. And then when they reach the end of their lifespan, then they're put down in a humane way, and then maybe it's a special occasion that they're eating. See, that's an entirely different conversation and thing, because that's then you're not, you know what I'm saying with that? But what we're doing, our current system is not doing that. We are not doing that. And we, by the way, have ways of putting animals down in a humane way, and we have chosen not to because they want to keep their profits as big as possible, which the government funds a lot of this stuff to keep the food so cheap. You got to look into it. You got to start learning about it, though, of what's actually going on. But we are destroying the world at a rate. It's just too much. So I think there's going to be a lot of changes. I'm not wrong on this. Lab-grown meat is going to be the choice for meat eaters. And I think it's going to be a lot healthier. And it's not going to be this like some like the stuff you're eating from KFC right now should gross you out. Not lab-grown organic meat. That would be pure, clean protein from that sense and not killing animals. I'd now be curious to see from a health standpoint how that, if they're able to, with the fat levels and things, if they're able to create essentially a superfood of meat without the fat, and if it doesn't affect the cholesterol levels. But I still say, regardless, a plant-based diet, you're increasing your blood flow, your manliness, your performance. That's all the stuff, by the way. A heavy meat diet, chicken diet, all this stuff, actually, it makes you less manly. So why do you think those companies started marketing and promoting, you want to be a man, eat a burger? You eat enough of those burgers, you get erectile dysfunction. We have it. The proof is in all the statistics that we have now. So how does that make you manlier? You see, put the connection together, how crazy this shit is? But that's the shit that gets put in people's heads. They're like, yeah, we're men. We're drinking beer, drinking whiskey, eating burgers, and we can't do anything after that. But we're manly because that's what we do. No, I'll keep doing what I'm doing to be manly. Yeah. Creatine is fantastic, my man. I take 10 grams a day. I absolutely love it. We have a great 10-count creatine on feedmemore.com. And it's enhanced with Glycer Pump that stacks very well with either our Wake Up Unlimited Energy or Pump Plex City Premium Pump Formula, which is also a non-stimulant pre-workout or workout formula, intro workout as well, with the citrulline, 6 grams of citrulline, and beta-alanine for aerobic and anaerobic endurance. I love Roman Reigns. I think soy is fantastic tofu, and not the genetically modified kind. But soy is a superfood. It's a complete protein. The phytoestrogens do not raise your estrogens. A lot of that stuff too was funded. A lot of studies on that to kind of to make people think that vegan diets and soy products and tofu will give you man boobs and things like that. Were funded by the meat and dairy industry. Phytoestrogens do not raise your estrogens. And again, now there may be levels to this, that if you ate like a massive amount, that maybe there could be something. I don't know on that. All I know is I have eaten a fair amount and my estrogen levels are always normal. What do I think about not winning the WWE championship at Hell in the Cell? I played the role that I was asked to play that night. The company, John Cena went out with an injury. I wasn't supposed to go to the main event. I was supposed to be built up a lot longer, supposedly, from what I understood, and go on a longer undefeated streak. And then Cena went out, and I don't know if he recommended or somebody where it was suggested, well, let's put Ryback in the main event. I would not be shocked if it was Cena that did suggest it, knowing where the company was going and seeing the momentum that I had. I wouldn't be shocked at that, knowing what I know about things and what I've talked about. Regardless, they decided to put me in that position, and it was never for me, even though it looked from the outside that this was the moment for me. I think a lot better business would have been done having me win it and go on and feuding with The Rock. I think, no doubt, Punk wasn't going any higher. We had lightning in a bottle. I think it was a massive mistake. I knew it right away. I knew it that night when everything happened. I heard the energy in the arena. I felt that feeling, even though it ended with me on top of the thing. But I'm a physical actor. They told me that's the role that they needed me to play that night. And the only difference between me and going out there winning and losing was what they told me to go do. And that's why I'll say I never failed in pro wrestling, and I never will. I'm a physical actor, and I can go out there and I can play any role to the best of my ability and get people to believe. I believe there's a large amount of people that want to see me play that role, though, and succeed as far as playing the role of a champion. So, but it was fun. It was a great experience. I main evented for a good while, and we had arena shaking, and it was a cool thing, man. And a lot of kids, I was their favorite. And I believe if I'm able to come back and be my best, I'll be a lot more people's favorites all over again. No doubt. I look the same. I'm going to be better than I was. So and I believe now with everything I'm doing in my business and with the motivational tie-ins and the vegan deal, I believe my mission as a human being is much stronger. Before it was just for me. My success was ego-driven. Now my success, while can still say yes, ego-driven, is also life-driven with a greater purpose bigger than myself, which truly excites me. I was missing that the first time around. And not most people never have it. I desperately wanted more, and I think that's why I was very unfulfilled because I never wanted to be famous. There was nothing satisfaction. There was no satisfaction in that for me outside of my personal goals at that time. From everything I learned, I wanted to be successful so bad because I'd overcome so much adversity already, and with the ankle injury, right? So, but now I feel like I have a greater responsibility past just myself. With what we have going on with needing more people to go plant-based and go vegan, and to show people you could be literally an elite athlete at the top of your game, 39 years old, better than you've ever been, and stay younger than you've ever been with a plant-based diet. And it's better for the world. It's better for animals. It's better for all of us. And that's going to be something that I'm really, really going to be looking forward to raising awareness on, because people, they're not going to be able to argue it. Whether we're like, well, you take steroids. No, this is what we do. I'm on TRT since 28. How do you explain it? They'll look for something, but no, I'll keep living that. We're going to get people to convert at a high rate. And that excites me, man, in providing the best and feeding me more nutrition, and for my entrepreneurship goals and my businesses and wanting to work with some top people. I'm very excited for my 40s coming up. 40 to 50 is going to be a fucking run for the big guy. And then I think 50 to 60 is going to be a huge run on a whole other level. But 40 to 50 is going to be, I think, the best 10 years of my life. Yeah, but if you've seen and I understand you say we shouldn't eliminate animals altogether. But the thing is on that is, and they say if it would take everybody having, I think, I can't remember what the exact, if it was a 3-ounce portion of meat or chicken a week, tops. It's something like that in single digit ounces, like 3 to 6 ounces, something small. We're not doing that at all. We've just completely hoard out this system, and people are eating this stuff, pounds of it a day. And I was guilty of it as well. So because we're told, oh, that's performance protein. And we don't realize that there's all these other better proteins out there that aren't going to fuck us up inside. And but you got dead flesh sitting in you for 10 days at a time. Man, you just see once you go vegan, your body just runs. You don't get weighed down. Your just energy levels skyrocket. But you don't know unless you go all in. I'll tell you guys, I got this book here. My friend, I got to read it here. Robert Chico, The Plant-Based Athlete, a game-changing approach to peak performance. And this is what I talk about. They've actually written a book, and it's coming out here. They were lucky enough, they sent me a free copy. They actually explain, they give you over 60 meals in here as well on how to eat for ultimate performance. And I will be doing a review after I read it on here. And I got to get to this. It came in yesterday, but it's called The Plant-Based Athlete by Robert Cheek on that. Matt Frazier and Robert Cheek on that. So, and Robert Cheek is on my Instagram as well, guys. So check that out. So I look forward to reading that. They just sent me that, and I put a picture up on my Instagram the other day. But they actually give you examples on what you need to be doing. All right, guys. Let's see if we have any other questions before we wrap up. Beyond Meat is full of chemicals. A lot of the ingredients are not actually... It's not chemicals. If you look at, especially too, there's other brands, and I was looking at it, the ingredients on that stuff, or most of that stuff, isn't chemical based. And I do think sometimes some of those companies, they could even improve things even further. But like the No Evil brand, their barbecue chicken and pork, and they got these chorizos and sausages. Their ingredient list is actually very, very short. And a lot of these their companies are using pea protein, seitan, in their stuff. And they're non-soy, non-GMO. So people that think the soy raises the estrogen don't have to worry about that. But pea protein is absolutely amazing. That and seitan is absolutely amazing. And the formulas, and they use coconut oil and different things in there. And for that to get the texture and things, they use beetroot coloring with things. There's a lot of natural ingredients in those things. So, and you don't have to eat plant-based meat even to have a high-protein vegan diet. It's actually not that difficult at all. And you have things like nutritional yeast and hemp hearts, and you have the beans, the black beans and the pinto beans, and you have a diverse diet. Throw some lentils in there, and it's very, very easy to eat high protein still. Throw a protein shake or two in a day. You easily, if I could eat, easily over 300 grams of protein a day in 4 meals, anyone could do it. I actually am not a complete failure in winning championships. I actually won the Intercontinental Championship and played that role. So it would be, you can't say that because I've actually played the role of a champion. I mean, you can say it, you're entitled to say it, but you get countered with an actual fact. So I had my moment. All right, guys, we're going to wrap up here. Yes, and I do agree, the circle of life. The circle of life, though, is not factory farms and torturing other animals and growing reproducing these animals to torture them for pure business. And so that is not the circle of life. Also, we have an option and a choice. Other animals don't. We actually have the ability to protect animals and create an infrastructure to protect them and love them and nourish them and do things with that. We have a choice. So that's what it comes down to. And right now, the choice that we have is we're destroying the planet. So I'm a firm believer of we need to take that choice away from people sooner than later. Because one, it's going to better everybody. And I'm at the point where I could care less what anybody thinks. We have the facts. Top people in the world, they literally have all the facts they need on what we need to do to change. And all the research shows that a plant-based diet, a vegan diet, is superior to every other form of eating. I've lived it myself. So I'm a big believer in eliminating that choice for people. I also believe we need to eliminate people having a choice on reproducing. I think certain criteria need to be met to reproduce. because the world, we're going in a very bad direction that we need people to speak up and we need to start implementing some change. If we don't, the dumb people ruin it for everybody. And it's just something that we're destroying the planet. So if we want to continue to thrive and prosper and to continue on and have our kids and grandchildren to be able to enjoy this planet, I think we need to make massive changes. And it doesn't matter how uncomfortable or how hurt people are over those, it needs to happen. And they have all the facts knowing that it needs to happen. So we'll see what happens. So, I think lab grown meat, I think people are going to be able to have all their stuff still. The factory farming has to go 100% as soon as possible. All right, guys, with that, we're going to wrap up this week. I'm going to go enjoy a little hockey, a little Golden Knights here, and finish up a little work as we approach the evening and then take the dogs for their little walk. I thank you, as always, for listening, and Feed Me More Nutrition on feedmemore.com. We have all free blog content on there. Check out the blogs, guys, as well as a spin and win wheel where you can win up to 35% off for simply spinning the wheel. 25, 30, 35%. And then we're giving away a free Feed Me More Nutrition Hungry Gym bag and half-gallon jugs. Guys, if you sign up for my email and text message, one a week, where you just get exclusive discounts and a message of positivity written by me. Everything is done by me on those. Guys, you get 25% off your orders if you sign up for each of those. So lots of ways you can save right now on Feed Me More Nutrition on feedmemore.com. All right. Have a great night, and I will see you tomorrow. Mi amigos, stay hungry. Feed me more.